Alrighty, guys, welcome back. It's your boy EQ, and up next we have Wack 100 and Adam 22 speaking on Lefty Gunplay being denied stage access at the Kendrick Lamar and SZA concert. And just to put it into context, Lefty bought a ticket to the show, and although he's featured in what I would say is more like a cameo than an actual full feature on Kendrick Lamar's TV Off, that fact obviously didn't matter to him, and he tried to get past security to grace the stage himself. But thinking logically, one would be safe to assume that if you wanted to coordinate that, then try to speak to management and try to make that happen. The last thing you do is try to little mama the stage for an impromptu performance. This is a massive tour. It's been a massive success. By the end of the tour, it will definitely be the highest grossing rap tour ever. But the last thing anyone wants is Lefty not performing up to par or just making himself look crazy up there, especially given the fact that, yeah, we're pretty sure you didn't go through any sound check. Honestly, if Lefty had been successful, that obviously would have been the story of the night and definitely would have been a shame because that show is definitely epic. Speaking firsthand, it's quite the experience and definitely one of my top musical memories. And Kendrick Lamar doesn't owe anyone anything. He's already done so much by featuring artists at his pop-out performance, and for a select few, a feature on his GNX album, which is an album that's still the top-selling album of this year, which is honestly crazy. But Kendrick Lamar gave you all the platform, and it's up to you to capitalize on that. But with Lefty's last project selling 800 copies, effectively going double plastic, this storming of the stage, if successful, would have definitely been something that would have put some eyes on him. But fam, Kendrick Lamar put you on probably one of the most iconic records on the album. So yeah, it's really on you. And obviously getting a look like that is massive for any artist that gets the opportunity. So while I do understand he was trying to make a moment out of the whole situation, trying to bum rush the stage, passing security, and thinking that's okay is not okay. But enough dilly-dallying, let's jump right into the video, where we have Wack 100 and Adam 22 speaking on Lefty Gunplay being denied stage access at the Kendrick Lamar and SZA concert. It's wild, but definitely not a surprising move from somebody like Lefty.
Both buddies with. How did it feel watching our boy Lefty Gunplay get turned away as he tried to go on stage with Kendrick Lamar at the tour with SZA?
That's not on Lefty Gunplay. It's not on Lefty. That's not on Kendrick.
Who's it on?
The management.
Well, it's actually totally on Lefty if he was the one trying to get past the security.
Lefty's management.
Right.
I know Kendrick's people. No way if management would have contacted them to say, "Yo, could Lefty be on their stage and say his part?"
Obviously, that wasn't the case.
You don't think?
Nah.
Okay, from my perspective, for sure his team reached out prior to that and said Lefty would like to come on stage with him. Because notably, nobody who was
hearing a no is probably not something that's going to stop somebody like Lefty Gunplay. He's done some crazy things already. And while Lefty may not have had a sober thought in a long time, his management for sure would have reached out. But the thing is, the tour hasn't really featured anyone else but the main two. I mean, we saw Bieber, we saw AZ up there, we saw a few people, but honestly, collectively, I think I've seen SZA bring more people up on stage than Kendrick Lamar. And unless Wack 100 knows for sure that management didn't reach out, then he shouldn't be so confident that they didn't.
On the album, who is from California, aside from AZ Chike, graced the stage with them.
Well, let me tell you something. First of all, let's establish one thing. Kendrick did what he was supposed to do at the pop-out show.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all not gonna prostitute the homie every time he on stage. Motherfuckers there to see Kendrick. So he already put his work in what he's supposed to do from cats at the pop-out show.
And at the same time, Lefty Gunplay is also in the visuals that they're playing during that record. So even though he's not there, obviously his presence is being felt. It's still him on the record. It's not like they're skipping that part. But I totally agree with Wack 100 there. All those people that were featured on that pop-out show, most of those guys have probably got the most eyes and ears that their music has ever had. And it's on them to actually capitalize on that, and I'll reiterate that again. This narrative that Kendrick Lamar has to give all these rappers features and keep giving them looks is something that obviously the OVO army has ran with. And honestly, it's a swing and a miss.
I think it's fine. Honestly, I don't think it's his responsibility to bring all these people on stage.
Secondly, I believe Kendrick was there 3 dates.
Was it only 3? I thought it was more.
I think 3
in LA.
More, but I know 3 for sure.
And yeah, it was definitely 3 shows. It was a Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday show, if I'm not mistaken.
Lefty's management would have reached out to his management to get him up there on one of them dates. They would have worked with him.
Lefty has claimed that he has Kendrick's number.
Look, that ain't got nothing to do. Kendrick already got enough to worry about.
I'm saying, if you want to be on stage, you have to reach out to Kendrick via text and say, hey, can I come on stage with you tonight?
I will say this. If he did hit up Kendrick and you guys did have that type of relationship, he can more than likely veto anyone else's decision. But the thing is, Kendrick Lamar hasn't really been bringing up too many people up on tour.
Let me do their job.
Artist-wise,
have
anyway.
management use that phone
He
number
could've
or
reached
reach out to TDE. You can reach. There's so many professional ways that you could have handled this. When
And at least AZ Chike had a full verse, not just like 9 words total. And if he did get past security and did make it to the stage, I don't think him being up there with no mic was going to look good at all.
when I see Lefty trying to storm the
Very
stage,
little mama-ish.
to me, I see someone who has struck out with every other avenue that he tried to use in order to get this idea done. And as a result, he was
Well,
trying
you ain't
to.
gonna storm the stage.
He was trying to enter through
That's
the
more
crowd.
than likely
Obviously,
the
the security,
situation.
even if they recognize you, even if they fuck with you, the security is not in a position to say, sure, come on stage.
No, they
That's
ain't gonna
his
let you.
They
job.
are not allowed to make that decision.
They'll be fired. I really think that management should have did their job. If they'd have reached out to Top Dog or even somebody on KDOT's direct management for one of those dates, I believe they would have made it happen.
And I do think that they probably
That's a fairy tale.
reached out, and I feel like they were probably turned down.
The things that Wack 100 chooses to believe and not believe. If I had to bet any money, they more than likely reached out and they were obviously denied.
Then why would Lefty just show up and try to storm the stage? It doesn't make any sense.
He showed up because he's a Kendrick fan.
Right. Well, he paid to get into the show, presumably.
If he had reached out to management for some
Probably
tickets,
got
I'm
some
telling
tickets,
you, bro.
yeah.
Sometimes some of these managers, bro, they pride and their ego be in the way. You got to erase all that when it comes to your artist and your client.
If
Nigga, you
your
got to
management's idea for how you're going to get on stage with Kendrick Lamar is to just try to walk onto the stage from the crowd,
It's time to change that manager ASAP.
then your management needs to be replaced.
No.
Obviously not how this is going to work.
They should have reached out to management. They would have provided tickets, probably some VIP passes, and probably gave him action. If not to say all 3 dates, but at least one of the dates, they probably would have let him get out at the end of that song and do his little words.
To me, it seems pretty obvious that they didn't want him on stage.
That's not obvious. I believe
It's most definitely obvious.
that they didn't reach out to Kendrick's team.
That would be a level of ineptitude that is almost impossible to fathom. If you're a
I don't agree with Adam. Actually, almost never, but I agree with him there.
manager and your client
these
wants to
got
get on
home-
stage to perform this song and you don't try to use a phone to text them or call them,
I challenge them to show us.
I
that.
mean, there's no way that his team is that unprofessional.
A lot of people got homeboy management, bro.
But OTR are not that much of like homeboy management.
A
You know,
lot of
they seem
people-
like they probably have at least some clue of how to get shit
A
done.
lot of people got homeboy management. I'm just being real, bro. And
That's true, but I feel like even for the most sub tier of management, they're gonna at least try to make a phone call happen or even a text,
can't get through one way.
email, a
You got to go
DM,
through
something.
another way. And that takes skills and time and relationship.
That's what I think happened. They tried to get through the official way. You know, Lefty, obviously, he wanted to be backstage. He wanted to be hanging out. To be fair, I don't think I saw anybody hanging out backstage.
Kendrick don't run that type of show.
I didn't see anybody who
he's
posted
locked in.
photos like hanging out backstage with the TD.
No,
crew.
he don't run that type
Maybe
of
a
show.
little bit, but if it was just
Only thing back
crew.
there is the immediate people. That's it. You know, SZA there on deck too. Top Dog ain't playing.
This isn't some show in some random theater or some random club. This is a massive stadium tour, and it's been going off without a hitch. Obviously, they're handling it perfectly. And the last thing you need is somebody up there that probably isn't qualified to be up there at a show of that magnitude.
Playing that shit. Kendrick ain't into all that. You know what I'm saying? That's why they keep their ship the way it is.
People who
Just
saw the show told me that there was pyrotechnics and there's
Mhm.
dancers, and that it was probably considered a liability to let this random meth head come on stage.
It lit up
I'm not
on
gonna call
fire.
him a meth head.
Well, that's the least controversial thing that we're ever
How
going
did
to
this
say about
album
him.
do?
800 copies. So what kind of look is that really for Kendrick Lamar? The only person that's winning is Lefty. At the end of the day, just perform your 3 words on Instagram Live or a story and be happy that you're popping up on the visuals in a show that big.
I think when I did the calculations, I ended up with a number that was around like 1,100 to 1,200 copies, which,
Double last time.
to be fair, yeah,
That's total, though.
approximately doubled what he sold the first time, the last album that came out at the same time as GNX.
Yeah, double the last time. Last time it was like 400, 500 something.
Yeah, so step in the right direction.
And I keep hearing people saying, I think I heard Viral Way say, well, Lefty's the only, this Lefty's second album. Lefty dropped the same day Kendrick dropped. So Lefty been
That's the one that I'm referring to, did the 800 copies first week.
dropping his music. I don't know what his team's over there doing because
Like
we don't never
gravitating
know it's
towards
really
it.
coming the way it's supposed to know it's coming.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it feels like he makes music and then he wants to put it out and they just put it out and there's not a lot of
No
support.
marketing
Listen, I
behind
don't know
it.
who's the people over there.
I mean, Lefty really doesn't have any motion at all right now. Honestly, not at the level that's going to put you on stage with Kendrick Lamar, the biggest rapper right now. And Lefty actually got exposed last year, if I'm not mistaken, for having these crazy demands on his rider, but yet not be able to sell any tickets. He was actually exposed by the person he was supposed to do the show with, a female rapper, and obviously that didn't pan out. So yeah, I feel like he's just trying to drum up any type of attention, and this is just the wrong attention. If his management is that inept that they can't make a phone call or a DM or a text message happen and try to ask for this the right way, then yeah, man, those probably shouldn't be your management. But it's still true what Wack said. Sometimes people just get homie management, who's ever in the vicinity, whoever was a day one. And honestly, that's a terrible move because what makes them qualified to do that? There is random cases where a person can learn on the job and actually become a fantastic manager, but that's more rare than it is common. And I want to reiterate this again. Kendrick Lamar doesn't owe anyone anything. He has already done so much for all these acts that have been featured on the Pop-Out Show and on his album. If they can't capitalize on that, then that's on them. I know Lefty tried to drop on the same day to try to be able to get some of that momentum from that record, and who knows, maybe it did. Maybe if Lefty wasn't on the GNX album, then maybe it would have sold even less copies, which is crazy. But unless Lefty Gunplay is that much of a friend to Kendrick Lamar, and Kendrick Lamar sees him as that type of homie, he truly doesn't have much that would actually qualify him to be up on that stage. In a very rare moment, I actually do agree with what Adam22 was saying, but definitely let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that Kendrick Lamar actually owes any of these acts anything? I feel like at the end of the day, he gave them probably the biggest platform they could possibly ever have. He literally gave them an international stage because that pop-out show was streamed on Amazon. So yeah, guys, they had eyes and ears from around the world listening to their music for the very first time. But definitely let me know what you guys think. Also, let me know what you think would have happened if he would have been successful and made it to that stage. I'm pretty sure he would have been tackled by the closest security guard and escorted out the building. But definitely let me know what you guys think. Definitely hit the like and subscribe button, guys. It does the channel wonders. I really want to thank you guys so much for continuing to make this channel a part of your day. It honestly is overwhelming. And all the love and support that you guys continue to show this channel was probably the biggest reason why I make these videos. So I definitely want to let you guys know how grateful I am for all of it. Guys, I want to thank all those that have been joining the YouTube memberships and also the Discord and the X. The Discord is probably going to be the best way to make sure that you guys get notification drops on all the videos, because YouTube does cap off the amount of notifications they send per video. And also X is going to be the best place to send any video suggestions for reactions. And I definitely want to send a big thank you to all those that have already been doing that. So definitely let me know what you guys have to say on this topic. Hope you guys love this video, and I hope to see you guys soon. And it's crazy that Wack is so confident that they could have actually made this happen with a text. I don't know.